Hello, and welcome to a new episode with your host, Vinney Chopra. I'm so excited to have you here as we dive deep into the world of real estate investing, syndications, abundance mindset, and building generational wealth. We are excited to be in the top 1.5% of the real estate podcasts. Got number 11 actually out of top 50 real estate syndication podcasts. Thanks to you. Each episode, we bring powerful insights, expert guests, and actionable strategies to help you take your investing game to the next level. Whether you are a seasoned investor or just getting started, if you love what you hear, please take a moment to subscribe, leave a 5-star review, and follow me on social media so that we can never miss an episode. Your support helps us continue sharing valuable content with more people like you. Now let's jump into today's episode. Thank you.
Good morning, guys. This is Vinney and Beau. Vinney and Beau coming to you. And today we're going to talk something very special with the turmoil going on in the stock market and so many uncertainties. We're going to talk about this special subject, stacking your skills. Right, Beau? How can we really stack and build a strong immunity to a lot of things happening around our own economy kind of thing? So please, let's get into it, brother.
Yeah, stacking skills, building your own economy. What does that really mean? I think, first of all, look, I've talked to a lot of family members. Oh, I lost X amount in the stock market and this and that. And they're worried about what's going on with politics. Look, I get it. It's more than just, it's, about other people and everybody. But at the end of the day, I think first you got to start with your house, meaning if you build your own economy up, down, whatever the market's doing, it doesn't matter because you're insulated. You have cash flow coming in. You're diversified in your portfolio. You're not one dimensional. You're not in just one single asset class because as we know, things are cyclical. So unpacking the first thing here, stack one skill at a time, brick by brick. Legacy is built. Start with one skill that produces value, whether it's underwriting deals, negotiating like a pro, or public speaking, and then stack others on top like compounding interest. So let me give you a real world example is I have been stacking skills for years. 8-9 years ago, I wanted to learn about SBA to be the best broker there that I could be because SBA it's a very fragmented industry. You can go to one bank, they tell you one thing. You go to another bank, they tell you another thing. Very difficult to get deals done if you don't understand where to bring the deal and how to structure the deals. So I've gotten very proficient. I've joined groups. I got invited to the BDO summit. That's with all the banks. I built more relationships with bankers. So that's just one example. Like I'm going to events. I'm stacking the skills to make me more valuable where people have to reach out to me because they don't know how to get the answers. And then I put the information out to the public on YouTube University, people book calls, etc. And then from there, the next skill I stacked, Vinney, was like people would reach out and say, hey, could you finance this franchise? And I saw a need because they were like, I would always ask them, why this franchise? And they're like, I like the pretzels, these Auntie pretzels or Wetzel pretzel. I'm like, that's not a real good reason. What's the economics of this business? So then I invested and I went to the Franchise Training Institute. I learned how to become a franchise broker. Spent years developing those skills. The next phase, next evolution for me, Vinney, is among a few other things I'm doing, but is I saw a need in the market for people to get to really understand tax strategy, to be a resource to help people understand all about the advantages of understanding taxes. Because if we look at the triangle method, 40% of that triangle is tax optimization.
Sure.
Many people don't know the basics of like how to offset and basically I wrote a book. Basically the premise of the book is why everybody needs to own a business or at least a side hustle, because there's things that I've learned, like, for example, this is just a little thing, but if you have your business going and you're still making W-2 income, and let's say you have a land phone line at home, right? But you have a cell phone. Now you could justify that the landline is for personal use and the cell phone is for business use. This $2,400 a year I'm spending on my phone might now be an expense for my business, right? Home office deduction, the standard deduction, I think for was $1,500 a year. But if you're taking more space, you can optimize that, right? So all these things are saving you money every year, which is going to obviously leave more on your bottom line. Stacking skills, building my economy, is I am actually learning all about tax strategy. So I'm learning from a mentor who is a tax attorney, and he's teaching a group of people all of these concepts. And then, of course, once you know these skills, your economy starts getting stronger and stronger, meaning I'm not paying as much in taxes because I know all these different categories. You can start planning your tax strategy in advance. So if you're just giving your information to a CPA at the end of the year and saying, hey, do my taxes, and they come back and that it is what it is, that's not tax strategy. That's just getting your taxes done. And you're probably leaving a lot on the table. So as I develop and stack these skills, I'm building my own economy. More cash flow comes in. The demand for my services increases, which means my cost per hour, the money I make every single hour goes up and up. And then you start triggering in what we always talk about, leveraging other people, virtual team members, right? What can they do? They can make clones of you through videos like this. Now, other people watch you and other people. It's this huge flywheel effect, because if you have something that the world needs and you're a category king in that sector, then people will flock to you, which means more money, which means more impact. So that's kind of my breakdown.
I love that, brother. Just to piggyback on that, last 5 years, I've shifted into, because multifamily I saw writing on the wall with interest rates and everything and insurances going higher, that it's going to get more red and red. So we haven't purchased much, but pivoting into senior living has really opened up different avenues. I was at a RIA meeting on the webinar in Orange County last night. 167 people, I think, registered. And the sponsor, really nice. I met her in Phoenix, and I was able to present for 1 hour last night. And she gave me the list of all the people. There was so much excitement, so much, lot of good questions, everything. Then the hotels, oh my gosh. I mean, in tourism spots and at the airports, the occupancy has gone up. So I have really pivoted into the hospitality side also, and which is becoming bigger and bigger. The investment that I put in has gone 4x already in just for a year, and looks like it'll go to 12x as we bought the new hotel with the capital gain and everything. And the dividend checks are huge. And I just got the text yesterday. Another dividend check will be put into my bank account. So you are so right. I think we need to be pivoting and really stacking our skills so that we could get better and better in our niche. Of course, branding, you just mentioned about that, and using international assistance. Brother Walter and I did a whole show yesterday. Anybody watching us, please go back and look at Abundance Mindset from this April the 10th or 11th. And the key thing was, how can we really get a lot more done with the helping hands of international assistance like you mentioned just now. So stacking and really building economy of your own, which can really bring cash flows, and you're investing into products which will grow in value, in equity and so forth. It's so important that we don't just get stuck in stock market.
Hi friends, this is Vinney Chopra from here in Danville, California. And you might be saying, hey Vinney, what are these over here? You know, I wrote this book a few years back, Apartment Syndication Made Easy. It became top seller. I came from India with $7 in my pocket. It says 500 million. It's going to be 1 billion very soon, very soon. I'm right at about 850, 900 million. And then I'm ready for the next billion. Actually, you will see that happening, 2 billion in this book also. The other book I wrote, which has been a very big positivity, has been my life. Always, I've been married 43 years with 2 children, and the beauty is to be positive, the mindset that can take you to all the places in the world. And that's the book that also became big seller. My third book, Senior Assisted Living, is coming. So do yourself a favor. Go ahead and click the link below to get free copies, audio copies of these books, even printed copies of these books. Printed means digital if you can't afford it. But I would highly recommend for you to get these or go to Amazon.com. Just go to Amazon. I got it in soft cover, in hardcover, in Kindle, in audio, also the Spanish version of this book also. So let's crush it, guys. I know you can be successful. I know you can do the kind of things that you want to do in life and have the streams of income and know how to really, educate yourself so that you could become a strong force in this world in real estate. I know you can. So take that step. Don't just be on the sideline. Take charge of your life. Take charge of your education.
Yeah. Another example, Vinny, is like in part of my business, a lot of my candidates that I'm working with aren't ready to do a full-time business. And they like vending because it's you spend an hour per machine per week. They can get a lot of good potential tax write-offs with Section 179 and bonus depreciation of these machines. And they can bring their kids in. So like another example is like I could continue what I'm doing, but I saw that there was the trade industry for vending is actually putting a huge conference on. So I just spent $500 or $600 to get a ticket. It's here in Las Vegas. So that's just an example of going in and starting stacking skills. I'm going to learn a little bit more, and then I can help people get into different vending options, and or for myself, if I ever wanted to get into more of the unattended retail space, which is huge. If you go to an airport, there's all these machines that you just buy the product. You just check out with your credit card. That's an emerging area. I like it for a lot of reasons, because some people, quite honestly, like their jobs and they don't mind their jobs. Their problem, they usually don't have, if they're in Silicon Valley, they don't usually have an income problem. What they have is a tax problem. And that's what the world we play in, right? Is what asset classes can you get in where you maybe materially participate? It's considered an active business. You're not just the LP, which would then open up the doors potentially for more tax write-offs, right? Because an LP is only going to be limited at a certain write-off. So that's the intrigue of my mindset, is like, the more people I can help create wealth, the more wealthy I will get. And that's the bottom line. So that's exactly what you do over your syndication career, right? The more we help other people create wealth, the more we create wealth for ourselves. So if you're watching this right now, what are those things? What are the skills you can develop to become, to make your hourly wage double, triple, quadruple? And then we always talk about the leveraging principles of using international team members to help you create more podcasts, to edit your podcast, to cut reels, to create static posts, where now more people understand what your message is and how you can help and serve them. And then that just keeps growing. So I think, what are you doing today? And take out a piece of paper and roadmap what skills you need to learn, and then how that one, and ultimately 3 steps down the road, how does that impact your business? And I think if you just continually do that, one is you'll stay excited about work and you'll be hungry to serve more people, but you'll also create a lot more money. And because everything really comes to leverage. A lot of us have ceilings. Like I have a ceiling in my home office right here, and we stay in our ceiling because we just think, oh, this is my home. I only have this 10-foot ceiling. Look, you have to start thinking about, you're thinking too small. We have to think bigger. You think bigger. Like my mission statement was to help 10,000 aspiring entrepreneurs over 10 years. And I'm like, that is actually small. I scratched it out 100,000. Then I scratched it out one more time, 1 million. I can easily help 1 million people over the next 10 years, because it's not just me one-on-one, but of course, one-to-many webinars. I've had thousands and thousands of people register for events that I've put on. I've had millions of downloads of my YouTube video, views on YouTube, right? I've started guesting other people's shows. Now I'm just driving more impact. So now that flywheel just keeps growing and growing. Just think about you make a snowball. It's snowed out, and and then you push that snowball down the little mountain. It gets bigger, 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 bigger. That's what you want for your business. And stacking skills, in my opinion, is a way that you can insulate yourself from the economy, whether it's up or down. So now everybody, I get this negative news, and like everybody, even I hear it from my mom, this and that. I'm like, look, we got to build our own economy, because if you build your own
Mhm.
economy, because we know everything is cyclical. We know there's going to be times the
Mhm.
market is down for 5 years in a row. If you can understand those and start investing in the right asset classes, and then catch that hockey stick, you only need to catch a couple of hockey sticks, or one or two hockey sticks in your career, and that'll create more wealth than anything. Because I was just
So
thinking about your
wonderful.
career. When you caught the hockey stick in multifamily, you got in the
Yeah.
emerging markets, right? And it wasn't
Mhm.
uncommon for property values to go up 40 or 50% without much of you doing value add, because you were in the
Yeah.
market at the right time, caught the hockey stick, and exited. So that's all what will happen if you stay in the game, I think.
I totally agree with you. Everything you covered, it's so powerful. I hope everybody just takes notes of it. If you're in the car, please go ahead and go back and look through it and jot down one or two things. Zig Ziglar says, if you help enough people get what they want, you'll get what you want. So helping our clients, our customers, our team members, everybody, it's so important. It starts from there. The other thing is the branding. You have the best of the best product, but if nobody knows about it, nobody's going to really come and fetch you. So that's also the money well spent in advertising, in international assistance, like you said, to really power up. I know yesterday's podcast, we talked about you are doing $10 activities a day, you're doing $100 activities a day, and you're doing $1,000 activities a day. Wow, that is powerful. I hope you could really put it down on a plain sheet of paper and write down $10 next to it, all you did yesterday or last week that was worth about $10, and somebody else can do it for you. Then $100, somebody else possibly could do it for you. And then 500 and 1,000 or $10,000 activity. We'll find out that the activities that bring the highest results, 80-20 principle, we talk about Pareto principle all the time, Bo. The key thing is for us to find out where we are spending the time. That's one thing, big one. And then having that passion to grow the business, to grow side hustle, like you just mentioned, everything. So it all boils down to where our head is at. Where is our mission? Where is our peak of the mountain we want to climb? And then doing everything on a weekly, daily, monthly, yearly basis to reach those smaller and big goals. And it is possible, like you said, you just think big. That's the beauty of it. When we think small, we reach much smaller than what we expect to reach. Thinking big and putting systems in place, that's another thing. Putting systems in place and making sure that you're getting many hands to work for you. It's just not two hands. I always say that you can have eight hands to work for you if you have three other people talking, working for you, and so on, and the teams of people and so on. So stacking in your skills with seminars and webinars and podcasts and learning all the great skills. If you're not good at, find out where, who can teach you with least amount of money, who has a track record, who has gone there where you want to go. I always say that. The people who are just teaching theoretically won't get you anywhere. The people who have reached and they have the track record, they can get you where. Just like I was listening yesterday, right? You are the sum total of five. If five people around you are poorer than you, guess what? They're going to become you poor also. But if the five people in your circle are higher than you in net worth, incomes, everything, guess what? They will attract you. They'll take you to a higher level, to their level. So who are you choosing? Who you are choosing, that's going to make a big difference.
I love it. You're right. I realized that for a while ago. Like, I realized that the real shortcut for me is, once you have some success, when you want to build another skill, you're better off
Yes.
paying the category king to teach you.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
you go, oh man, that's a lot of money. That stings. 10 grand for this
Hmm.
coaching program or whatever.
Yeah.
But then you're like, what does that really mean? That's for me, it's a half a deal. So am I going to get a half a deal because in a year because I spent? That's what I look at. What's my ROI? It doesn't have, I don't have to get an ROI tomorrow,
Mm.
but in 3 months or 5 months, am I going to get an
Yes.
ROI? And if you
Right.
do, then I invest in it. And then that's like the stacking skill. So my skill levels just keep on getting better and better, and they won't stop because I have that thirst to learn. Like I'm learning tax strategy right now.
Mm.
Most people think it's boring. I think it's extremely interesting. And
Yep.
I'll give you a perfect example, Vinny. One of the CPAs I work with, a referral partner, he was in town. He lives in Chicago, and he was in town for a conference, and he invited me to dinner with a couple people. And he was telling me that, hey, I'm getting an SBA loan, but it's a bank that I have a relationship where I would use you. I said, hey, I get enough deals that I'm not, no, I get it. And then I started telling him, I'm like, why don't you buy a building? You can get 100% expansion financing with SBA for your CPA practice. And he goes,
Yep.
I'm not a real estate professional. I go, you don't need to be because it's an active business, man. You can, and you should know that you're a freaking CPA. But what that really said in my mind was like, Beau, because you're always asking people, we have CPAs on our podcast and we're always learning.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to study. So I'm studying from a guy that's one of the very good
Top.
CPA tax
Yeah.
strategists. And he has a whole curriculum for people to like understand everything to a high level. Cause most people that you go to take your tax returns, they're just putting data into a spreadsheet, into a computer
That's it.
software system.
That's it. Yep.
And that's
Yep.
not what you need. What you need is to understand the key principles. So when you make strategic moves, you understand what that means. If you invest into a motel and you're not an LP, but you're a general partner in a partnership, but you're active in the business and you can show that,
Yep.
then you can then take advantage of a cost segregation and probably offset your earned income. Everybody's got a little different, unique situation, but like most people don't realize that stuff. Okay, that makes sense for me because I have a tax problem. If I invest in an asset class where I'm just an LP, that might not help me as much. So maybe they look for something that would be a better tax offset than just going in. So I think we all need to stack these skills to some. If you're making money, you should understand high level the questions you need to ask your tax preparer to make sure you're not paying an extra $100 or $1,000 in taxes that you actually had the write-offs to justify. I just think that's like imperative for people. And I wasn't a good student. I didn't even go to college, Vinny. I dropped out of junior college. But because I had a growth mindset, now where most people have shut the book at 30 years old, that stopped learning. I got my master's degree or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm the complete opposite. I'm opening the book, studying while they're watching Netflix.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Other thing also, I know we have talked about it. I've done some webinars also. Oil and gas investing in USA has different tax benefits. And that has been, I was in Dallas and met with the CEO of some companies and all. And the big part is, again, I'm not promoting anything. I'm just saying, look into that because active income loss, oil and gas lets you write off 100%, 85, 75, plus then some 25 rest at the end. You make dividends also, and the equity grows. So I really didn't believe in the oil and gas, to be truthful, many years back. And now I'm just to declare I am investing in it because more I learn about it, the good operators, how they can do a better job. That's something. Active income, lots and lots of entrepreneurs and W2 people are always looking for. I asked the pain points of my investors lately, and a lot of them replied. And they said, taxes are major things. So what you're saying is so right. We need to just learn and strategize taxes before the end of the December 31st, because once it's December 31st, it's already written how much taxes you're going to pay, if you're paid or not paid next year. You pay penalties and things like that. So it's very good to get a tax advisor. We are talking about that. Again, stacking your skills is what our topic was today. And I hope you got a lot out of it. Please comment, share, and come back. And 9 a.m. we release the episode on Fridays, PST, 9 a.m. So good luck to you all. And Beau, good job, brother. And keep on pushing. And the key thing is we want to get better at our skills so that we can stack our skills and get those cash flows, income streams put in, and equity also. Put the money in the right places where the money can grow along with cash flow. In these uncertain times, it's more important to stack your skills than any other time.
I agree 100%. Good show. It's got me
Thank
excited.
you.
So we'll see you next week, guys.
Yeah, see you next week. Bye-bye.
Wow, what an incredible conversation today. I hope you got tons of value from this episode. If you did, don't forget to subscribe, leave a 5-star review, and follow me on social media to stay updated on all the things real estate, investing, abundance mindset, and wealth creation. If you're an accredited investor looking for exclusive investment opportunities, be sure to join our elite Monil Investors Club at vinnychopra.com/invest, where we share details of our future projects. Quick disclaimer, we are not selling any securities, and this podcast is strictly for educational and information purposes only. The opinions shared by our guests are their own and should not be considered financial or investment advice. Always do your own due diligence and consult with a financial professional before making any investment decisions. Thank you again for tuning in. Until next time, keep smiling, keep investing, and keep making a massive impact. God bless you.
Bo and I are together to really bring the best to get your business to the next level.
Do me a favor, subscribe and share. I really appreciate it. And I look forward to connecting with you in the future.